Regal Movie Masters. Unlimited.
This is the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast, where we indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theater. Movie Masters there, Justine.
Hi.
Brent.
Hello.
Dylan.
What's up?
I'm Colin. I'm fired up. We got 4 movies to get to. We got a tentpole release that is just doing numbers here. We got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, real movie, real title, Past Lives, and Everybody. So that's 4 flicks to get to. I'll preempt this discussion, this round table, robust discussion by saying we do spoil everything. It's all on the table. If you're listening to this, this is on you. Also, we have an email, moviemasters760@gmail.com if you want to hit us up with any questions, suggestions, things of that nature. moviemasters760@gmail.com. Out the gate, we got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This movie is about Mr. Jones of 5 other movies that he's done. It's Harrison Ford, baby. He's back. Some would say he never left. He's chasing down some old ancient bullshit. This time around, it's a Dial of Destiny, which is Archimedes, who is not an owl, but a human. He made a dial in the ancient days, and this dial will tell you where time rifts occur in the world, and you can pop on through them if you get there quick enough. Also after it are the Nazis. Remember those old sourpusses from the previous films? Well, they're back, because who else would it be, right?
Is there always Nazis in?
No.
Oh.
God damn it, there isn't.
Okay.
And
Just checking.
there isn't. I mean,
What's the angry response?
Why are you yelling at her?
I have it under good word that like they were never, George Lucas especially was like, no, don't make it Nazis all the time. And so like the second movie is not Nazis. And then the third one, they kind of like, bring back the Nazis. People didn't like that last one.
Aww.
And so, and then Crystal Skull was...
No, it's Russians.
Yeah, see? They don't have to be Nazis all the time.
So odd numbers are Nazis?
Yeah, exactly. And when they're out of steam.
When in doubt.
Yeah, Nazi it out. And they want the Dial of Destiny. And but it's not World War II anymore. It's like late 60s, early 70s. It feels more, I think it says 1970.
Yeah, or around.
Yeah, his neighbors are listening to Bowie at some point, so you got to, unless they really had their ear to the ground, had some advanced tapes, they were they would have been in the early 70s.
Wasn't it the moon landing? That was
Right.
the date? That would be the
Yeah.
date?
Yeah, but wasn't that 69? Anywho, so he's got to get the dial before the Nazis get the dial, because he wants to put it in a museum, but along the way he meets a gal who wants to sell it because she likes money, and she's the other person in the movie because he needs someone to bicker with when he's being chased. And so
It's his goddaughter.
oh yeah. Very important relationship to have.
Yeah.
Because like they're just admitting in this movie, it's like, yeah, no one's gonna give a shit unless like 1 degree of separation from Indiana Jones. That's all the fuck you get. We tried to give you his son last time, and you were all pissy about it. So try it again. Goddaughter. Maybe it's like it was too close. If it was his kid, with Shia LaBeouf. So
His friend's kid.
yeah. I really dislike this movie.
I could tell.
I don't mean to have contempt. Let's do a round table. Like, what are your takes? Like, feelings? Did anyone love this movie? Like this movie? Who liked this
As
movie?
a movie.
As a movie. Regular old film.
I think it could have been fine. It was just way too long. Like, it needed to be cleaned up.
Right.
If it had taken out like 30, 40 minutes, it would have been good.
I could stick it like middle of the road. I can say if we're doing a scale of 5, I could say it's a 2.5 probably.
Which is an F.
Yeah.
But that's still that's more generous than I have it at.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely more generous than you.
Yeah.
And I think like a lot of the general gripes that I can see people having both in this movie and in other movies that use some of the same production techniques as this one, like the de-aging.
Right.
For some reason, the de-aging doesn't bother me in Star Wars or this. I know a lot of people get really strong opinions on it, but I don't know. I just watch it. It doesn't affect me.
Right.
So that helped. You know what I mean? Because it's just kind of like the first half hour or so is a de-aged Harrison Ford. I will say it was funny looking at him as supposedly a younger version of himself, but still with the same voice.
Yeah, that seems like such a easy thing to, well, maybe not an easy thing to fix. Maybe that's why they didn't fix it.
Yeah.
Dylan, shine some light on this. You're so much more kind in general. To cinema.
To cinema. I think you meant in general.
No.
Like,
I know you better than that.
I'm a little harsher. I will say I weirdly enjoyed the first 30 minutes more than the rest of the film. I got used to the de-aging.
Yeah. the young Harrison Ford Instagram face filter.
Yeah, I mean it is like off. It is weird to look at in the beginning, but once you just kind of accept it that it exists.
Actually, hold on. That's a good, like, we are so used to looking at filters just on a daily basis. So does that make it easier to watch movies where they de-age?
Well, it doesn't help distinguish the cinema from what you see in your phone, and that's what I would consider a downside.
Yeah.
It just makes it look more like, any social media app or whatever.
Yeah, so are we moving to a point where like it's going to become less of an issue to see de-aging on?
Well, it's not. It's going to be more of an issue when something feels like a movie. So like, and this is true of I think all CG stuff. The more just like green screen person in a suit that's green screen, the more like video game cutscene a lot of big blockbusters get, the more impressive it is to watch. Here's some human beings talking, or here's even like, something as silly as like a Fast X that we just saw, like seeing stunts with practical cars smashing into each other as opposed to monsters punching each other, or like CGI robots like in Transformers. I think it maybe has a little bit more spectacle. But I think when you see the CG on CG on CG, which the de-aging thing falls into, it's not like, oh my God, it's so jarring. It's just, okay, this is boring. I mean, I tune out. My brain just doesn't connect with it as a cinema by any means. I said that gross, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Cinema.
I don't know who's saying that.
Like a horned up Dave Mustaine.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, cinema.
Hello, me. Meet me from 20 years ago.
Would be crazy. No, but other than that, I got used to it. I knew about the de-aging, and I swore I thought it was only going to be like, here's like a 2-minute scene of him, kind of like how they normally do it, where it's like real quick.
Yeah.
Here's Princess Leia. Remember her? Real quick.
Yeah, like a flash.
Yeah.
And then, credits.
Hi, I'm on Mothma. This is me, but I gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye-bye.
But it was like, damn, this is like half the movie.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you get used to it. I would say that's the best part. But everything after that, you get into the world of Indiana Jones, which is the real world, and it's like, damn, this is crazy. This was like 1972 must have looked like. That's nuts. I'm guessing here. I don't know what the year it is. You get to the spontaneous adventures of Indiana Jones and friends.
Being chased
Yeah,
on the
being
run.
chased by the CIA and the Nazis.
Whoa. He's got his job to worry about. He's a professor.
He's retiring, though. He doesn't care.
Okay.
But he has people to care about, which are the other professors,
Yeah.
who sadly get their life taken away. They get shot up
Well, hey,
by the bad guy from Logan.
being friends of Indiana Jones, you got there's prices to pay.
I know.
Speaking of guy from Logan, this is directed by the guy from Logan.
The
I
same
don't know,
guy?
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't say who the director. I didn't say who the director was because I didn't respect the work. It's directed by James Mangold, who did Logan, The Wolverine. He did Copland back in the day. Remember Copland? Wow. Yeah, guy goes way back. It has 5 different writers on it, which is like Yeah.
But you can't blame that guy for that, man.
No, I can't, but I can. Well, I'm not blaming the movie. I'm not blaming anyone involved in the production of the movie. I'm definitely blaming the people who are like, yeah, make this happen.
Yeah.
Like, this is obviously, if we're looking at the kind of budget that it is, they were throwing that at the people who are on screen and filming. And it's like, you're going to tell someone not to take that kind of bag when they're throwing it at you. But it all contributes to a miserable product. Did I interrupt your sunshine? More sunshine, Dylan.
You want some more sunshine?
You got anything?
Anyway,
else?
so you get to follow the old scallywag, Indiana Jones, and the what's her name, and the little kid, and they're running
Helena,
around.
played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yeah,
I remember Wombat. Her name was Elena.
Helena, yeah. Her name as a kid is her childhood name is Wombat. So
anyway, so you follow them, and they're getting chased, and they're trying to find the dial, and they're like, "Oh, the second piece is here." So you get to follow that. It's a fun time. I don't know, man. It's all sunny. I will say, once it gets to nighttime, towards the end of the film, it's a little like God puts you to sleep a little bit. But when it's a sunny scene, it keeps you up. It keeps you on your toes because they're being chased by bad guys, and it's like, damn, dude, these bad guys actually kill people. See, I think a lot of people won't notice that. Like, I don't remember. No, yeah, in Indiana Jones,
fools get murked.
Yeah,
Indiana
dude,
Jones
people
movies.
do get killed in Indiana Jones. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's
forget.
actual murders.
Yeah, Indiana Jones actually shoots a person in one of those movies.
Mm-hmm.
I think he kills someone in this, right?
Yeah, people get murdered in this one too.
No, but by Indiana Jones is like bare hands.
Yeah, and Helena.
Who did Wombat kill?
I remember clocking it, but I don't remember like days later now. If we would have done this right after, I would have remembered.
Oh, she was in Solo too, the Han Solo movie.
Who was she?
Oh, that's kind of weird, right?
Was she Kira?
Because she was hanging out with Harrison Ford when he was younger, and now she's hanging out with an actual Harrison Ford. She just keeps climbing up the ladder. She's just gonna crawl into the coffin with the guy at one point.
Oh, and then the dude Mads, the bad guy, he was in Rogue One.
He's great.
He's in everything.
Yeah.
Legend.
Perfect.
God damn it, Dylan.
What?
Dead ass.
Yes.
You said it was a good time. You said it was fun.
I had a great time until, well, like I said, it got night towards the end. I just went eepies on accident. Like, I accidentally took a nap, closed my eyes, and I was like, oh, woke up, and some shit was happening, and I wish I stayed up for it because it was a long day at work. But what?
Even that's not a bad thing, because as we've determined in previous episodes, sometimes movies just need to be relaxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So night scene, that just means it's relaxing. You can take a little nap.
Well, what I'm saying is they got my heart racing. So,
Yeah.
guys, you're listening. I am very overweight, and I have a high blood pressure. And so, like, you got my heart racing like fucking crazy for the last 2 hours. You're gonna throw this
2 hours.
You're gonna throw this 10-minute scene where it's like fucking nighttime, and they're just like sneaking around. But I'm like bored for a second. Of course, I'm gonna pass out and wake up when some crazy shit's happening all of a sudden. I'm just saying.
I do not remember a nighttime scene at all.
The nighttime scene is when they're getting on the airplane. It's from what I remember, and I passed out.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, like the horizon darkens because they're about to rip through a time portal.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And that's when I passed out. And I woke up, and all of a sudden they were like going through a hole.
Did you see the Nazis shooting at the Romans?
Yes.
Okay.
I woke up
So
right
before
when
that,
they were
okay.
in there.
So you weren't out that long.
Spoilers. Romans
we
show
said
up.
it already.
I know, but Romans show up. That part was fucking crazy. 'Cause it's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, they're fucking
I
up
love
Greeks,
it.
and then the Nazis shoot at the Romans.
And then, I don't know if you noticed that, what's his name?
Archimedes.
Archimedes takes a Nazi watch.
Yeah, and then when he dies, or
And they're
because
like-
when they raid his tomb later,
Yeah.
he has a watch. And like, how do you have a watch?
Wait a minute, watch didn't exist till the
Holy
19,000s.
shit! This guy's been time warping all over the fucking place.
Wait a minute, Archimedes is a fucking time worshiper.
They use all their curse words to get to the PG-13. They really bumped it and bribed some people. They could swear a lot. Again, nowhere in the film except for when he finds the watch.
Yeah.
On the day, holy fucking shit, guys!
That and
Get
when
the
Wombat
fuck in here.
That and when Wombat asks him about why he still wears a wedding ring, he's like, "You tried telling your dad's fucking son that fucking died in the war not to go to war." Fuck.
Yeah, they're saying, what would you use Archimedes' time dial? So this is stupid. The dial just shows you where these warps are in the world. And
But you can also input what time you want to go back to.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah,
I
that's
think
why
you can.
it has to be, because he wanted to go back and kill the Fuhrer so that he could be Hitler.
I interpret it as there's just these time warps popping up here and there, and they pop into them, and then it takes you back to where those time warps go, and the dial just says, "Oh, if you want to go to this time warp, hit here at this time."
I'm with Justine. I think you could program.
I would suggest that there's just like always a rip.
Which is kind of my problem with the whole premise.
I thought they said the wormhole thing. He only said it to go back in time to that time.
Well, then if you can say when you want to go to,
the real one has like a bunch of different dials,
Right.
different things that it tells you. So I think this tells you where the rip is, and you can set like what you want to go back to, and then you do some math apparently, because that's why he was like going in at the wrong time or going in at the wrong speed or something. So he ended up at that siege instead of in Nazi time.
There's two clever gimmicks that happen. It was probably the best. These 5 writers, this is the best they came up with. One is that Archimedes didn't account for continental drift, right? So when they pop through, it's not going to be when you want it. It's going to be where he would have thought it would be, but he didn't know about continental drift, so he might show up someplace crazy. I don't know how much continental drift happened from ancient Rome to like current time, but I don't know if it's enough to go from 1942 to like, when was that battle? Like 2,000 years ago or whatever. Way off. Anywho. So,
Well, it's time travel. Who knows?
Yeah, but fucking what am I talking about? Trying to behold a fictional goddamn thing.
You know,
when I time travel.
I'm giving him credit, though. Clever. Okay, 1. And then 2, the Nazi guy that wanted the time travel thing, because it's, again, happens after the Nazis have been washed out. He's like a Project Paperclip. That's the one, right? Where they reassign the Nazis to, like, high-ranking...
Werner von Braun.
Yeah, to high-ranking, like, science stuff for the American government. He's like, oh, I'm going to go back in time and kill Hitler, so then I can show all the mistakes they made and really make this Nazi thing click. Because, you can take the dog out of the fight, can't take the fight out of the dog. I'm in it to win it, baby. Still got another chance at this. World War II, let's fucking go. Which I love, because it's always like, oh, we're going to go kill Hitler. You wouldn't kill Hitler? Are you going to kill Hitler? Which is so, like... Not like he was a fucking magic person. It was the whole circumstances surrounding it that made all the Nazis rise to power or whatever. So it's clever to see someone kind of like be like, hey, no, we're going to kill Hitler. And then it'll get really fucked up because Hitler was a dipshit. So, those 5 writers, they're fucking earning their pay on that one. But yeah, so they end up in ancient times after going through the time warp rift. And then they're fighting in ancient, they're fighting in Rome.
It's like the coast of Greece, kind of.
Yeah, sure.
The Romans are attacking Greece. It's that one that they
Right.
lose at Syracuse.
not the New York Syracuse.
Yes,
Yeah.
not New York.
Right.
Just for clarification.
The Venice one.
Yes. Not the Venice in Los Angeles.
No, not that one either.
So I'm my real condemnation of the movie, and what it really all boils down to, because I'll be on board for all of this bullshit if it's like physiologically responding as bored. Like I was just checked the fuck out of this movie. Like could not give a single fuck. And the length we've said is the big problem. I think that's the underline it twice issue here leads to kind of a repetitiveness, which is what I was caught under, which is like another fucking chase. It's just chase, bicker along the way, get to a thing, solve a puzzle, Nazis show up, take the thing, Harrison Ford's like, you're a Nazi. Like, oh, yeah. I don't like it. But then they leave. Like, oh, you got the thing we need. And then he's like, but they don't know about the other thing. Let's go get the other thing. Run, get the thing. Like, repeat cycle over and over again. Yeah, I don't know. It just did not catch my interest at all. I was actively bored watching a silly, fun movie. I like silly, fun movies. I'm not,
Did you like the pod race scene in The Phantom Menace?
Well, did I like it 5 times in a row? No.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it fine. It's iconic piece of film at this point. But
like seeing the Lucasfilm logo and then seeing the action in this movie, I was just like, oh, this is just the pod race scene over and over and over.
I guess, but on dusty ass streets with fucking boring, shitty cars and.
But even how like everything's framed and the pacing, it's just it's a pod race.
Yeah, I went back after this movie. Like, do I just not like Indiana Jones? Because I don't. I'm not a stan necessarily. I just have like fond memories, but I don't rewatch them a lot. So I was like, all right, Crystal Skull. I've heard enough bullshit about this movie. Let's get into it. And within like 2 minutes of watching that film, I'm like, oh, this is a Spielberg movie. That's what's fucking missing from this goddamn movie is like Spielberg. Okay, listen, in Indiana Jones doesn't even, it's an idea. It's like, it is Steven Spielberg in the 80s just fucking hamming it up with George Lucas about how much they love that old-timey fucking pulp adventure, white knuckle stories, movies, stuff like that. And they're like, let's do a version of that in the 80s. Let's use our technology and do this
emphasis on in the 80s.
Yeah, and it's, those movies, they take place in the 40s and everything, in the era of the kind of movie and entertainment that they watched. Like, let's mimic that style. We got the money. Let's do the kind of shit we like to see, and we like to see this old-timey shit, and I don't care if anyone likes it or not. We're going to make this thing. Harrison Ford is a fucking lightning in a bottle, the most charismatic figure ever. I love Harrison Ford, just for the record. Grew up with the guy's movies and everything, and like, no one does smug prick better, who's likable, who's an asshole, who's cool, who's a dickhead, like all at once. You watch those old movies and he's like reacting to things and his eyes are bulging out like he's not that anymore, which isn't his fault, by the way. Harrison Ford is still a good actor. He's just not suited for this role. You dummies. Of course he isn't. Yeah. So all of that magic is gone. The style of shooting is gone. The love for the era that it's shot in, like...
Long gone.
Did this movie feel like... Again, those old Indiana Jones movies, they take place in that era because that's when that style of filming was done, and that's when those kind of characters were popular, and it's like a loving tribute to that stuff. And this movie takes place in the 70s or the late 60s because it has to chronologically for how old Harrison Ford is now, and I don't get the sense that the director gives a single shit about trying to shoot something in that either that pulp style that was popular in the 40s that, Spielberg was resurrecting, or in like, that would have been a way to go, like shoot it like a fucking Brian De Palma movie or something, like.
Stylize it, yeah.
There was nothing. This was like flat visually. There was nothing to tickle the old funny bone or nothing to really ground it in indie storytelling, And even Crystal Skull, as much shit as people give that movie, like, at least for the first couple acts, like, that's pure Spielberg right there. That's pure Indiana Jones kind of visual storytelling. And Harrison Ford is fucking still animated. He's still there.
I've never seen it, actually. Yeah.
It's passable, but
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, all the big memes are right? The memes.
I never saw the memes, but I saw the movie.
Well, the memes are you don't survive a goddamn nuclear blast in a fucking refrigerator, which is of course silly.
Oh wow.
And you don't. What the fuck are these aliens doing here?
Oh, and
there's aliens in it?
And there's Shia LaBeouf. A lot of Shia LaBeouf.
And swinging with the monkeys.
Yeah, there's monkey swinging.
Yeah.
There's eating ants.
Yes.
I mean, ants that eat.
Right.
Okay.
There's a whole, like, ancient civilization site that just disappears into the ocean.
Yeah, there's some CG that I didn't love. Because, again, if you watch the real Indiana Jones movies, it's like the set pieces are the stars of the show. They take that shit away.
So was Crystal Skull overstuffed? It sounds like it's overstuffed.
Well, that's just the thing. When you're Steven Spielberg, you can deal with stuff.
Okay.
Because it's just like, what's this thing happening? Oh no, guys, we gotta go. We got company. Like that kind of pacing and
got it.
The actors and everyone keep up with it. So
you think that the characters in this movie, the Dial one, were just not animated enough?
Well,
it doesn't seem like cartoony enough.
Harrison Ford has accepted his role as the human embodiment of like a grunt you make when you get off a couch. He is a cranky old man. That's the role he wants to play. He's entitled to play that role. You, the filmmaker, need to not fucking cast him in that role.
Yeah, you shouldn't have an 80-year-old in a...
I don't care a fuck about the age. It's just about how you act. If he's in a place where he can, or this is how he acts, like have him play a fucking, just a professor, regular professor. No adventuring.
Yeah.
Great. Have him mentor a young writer. Great.
Yeah.
Like he could kill a role like that. Have him be an old president. Have him be fucking Joe Biden. It'll be great. He could do a role like that. If you're going to have him go, oh gosh, guys, we got eels and they're like snakes and I don't like that.
Oh man, I forgot that scene.
If you're gonna sell that kind of stuff, don't be like, oh jeez,
Fuck.
another
He curses again. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of swearing in this movie.
Fuck. Can you believe Antonio Banderas got like third billing, and he's in it for like 10 minutes, maybe
That
less.
Actually reminds me, like, because another thing about Indiana Jones, it's so actor-led. Like, how much real screen time is Harrison Ford getting out of this? Was it this movie or Michael Keaton's Batman and the Flash? Like, who had more screen time? I feel they tucked Indiana Jones away in this Indiana Jones movie.
Do you have to count the first 20, 30 minutes?
I mean, you both can and can't.
Yeah, see? Because you could say, technically, it wasn't even him.
Right. Even in that scene, I think, because they didn't want to totally creep you out with the old uncanny valley there, they don't make a meal out of that face. Like, you'll see some shots, but a lot of stuff from behind, a lot of, like, far shots, night shots, dark on top of the train, obscured. They're not milking his image in that early scene for as much as Indy as there is in it.
I'll count it because I bought in. I had no problem with the de-aging, so I'll count it and I'll say that
But was he actually acting though? Is what I'm saying.
More Indiana Jones than Batman Michael Keaton.
Nah, that was voiceover. It was minimal, probably because they knew that the voice wasn't going to match the body.
I'm just saying, for an Indiana Jones movie, and this is important in an Indiana Jones movie because Harrison Ford, the actor, is what differentiates this movie from from The Mummy or National Treasure or any of those kind of movies, right? It's him being him with an exclamation point. And he, for as much as this film is reliant on him, is not as present as he could be, not just in his style, but I mean in actual fucking screen time. Like, he's not in this movie that much.
That didn't occur to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's my take. I don't know. I'm piling on at this point.
I liked during that first scene, though, we were talking about how it's not his face, but it's his face. I noticed the very stark difference to me between watching The Flash and watching that, because it's like, I know that's not him, but I don't feel like the whole body is fake.
Right.
I would say it's almost seamless, the actual person that was the body and the face. That was kind of impressive, I guess. And I was glad to see like real effects, like people actually on motorcycles chasing a train.
Sure.
Instead of just, Ben Affleck on one of those things like at Dave & Buster's or something.
Right.
Where you're just kind of leaning on it. But I did not know why they needed that part to be so long. I was actually afraid because I didn't know they were going to do that.
Yeah.
I was wondering, is the whole movie going to be like this? Because I didn't know.
Yeah, we're just watching Polar Express here.
Would have been better if they would have done the whole movie like that?
No, because I was like, I could not suspend disbelief, but I was going with it, hoping that it wasn't going to last too long. And I was wondering how they were going to have Mads Mikkelsen look
like a human during
like old, and he just looks the same. Whatever, I guess
it's fine.
Yeah, whatever. He has white hair.
40 years later, who cares?
The intensity of the action, for me anyway, like covered up any of like the thinking about people's ages and effects.
Yeah, it was fine. Like, and you notice, but it wasn't super jarring. I did think though, while I was watching him or his face, that one of the things they get wrong about when they're doing CG stuff or this de-aging and whatever is the people's expressions, like little ticks that they do and like the ways that they talk, like how their mouths look and stuff. You just look at him and you're like, he doesn't look like he's doing his face. He doesn't look like he's reacting the way that he would, which I think is really weird because they can make it look like him but not like move like him.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they call it the uncanny valley. It's like it's there, but your human eyes that know what a human looks like and knows what a facial expression is are like, something's a bit funky here.
You know how you always know that, like, well, people are like, 90% of like communication is nonverbal or whatever.
Right,
It's like, we kind of know. It's not right.
In a way, that's kind of reassuring, though. You know what I mean? That our ape brains can pick up on the artificial nature of the technology,
right,
which will keep it from completely overtaking the art that we consume. The thing that bothered me the most about this movie was the passage of time. Like, for instance, when the train crashes in Indy and Wombat's father, when they fall into the water, it's like middle of the night, right?
Yeah.
And then it just cuts to them kind of walking out of the water, and it's all of a sudden like bright daylight. It happens again. I want to say when they go into like a casino or something in the middle of the night, and then they just happen to go outside and it's daylight again. It's like it's a really weird passage of time. That actually took me out of it more than the de-aging for some reason.
Oh, look, it's adventuring is you rock and roll all night and you party every day. That's how it works.
Plus, time is just the concept, right?
That's true. That's true. They went in different time zones is the thing.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's how Hulk Hogan was able to wrestle 400 days in 1984.
I like how there's literal time travel in the movie, but like the passage from day to night is like, something's up.
Well, it's just because like it's very clear, like during that train scene, you're like, this is dead of night.
Nah, the train scene was kind of bright, and then they had to take time to swim out. That guy's not fit enough.
Yeah, man, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. It took hours
the
to get out
casino
of the
thing.
water.
I don't remember him going at night, but I remember
it might be a different scene, but like, I just remember going, wait, it's like pretty clear, like that this is like the middle of the night, and then they go back outside. It was like, oh, well, I guess it's like middle of the day now.
Well, here's the thing. Listen, all these gripes aside, obviously it's not hurting this thing at the box office because this thing is
not at all.
No, this is a tentpole release. This is the movie of the summer. This is what everyone's talking about. This is it's going to bring home the bacon, baby. Give them the numbers, man.
This movie cost $295 million to make before marketing, and they spent a considerable amount on marketing, of course, because this is Disney, and this is, as Colin said, a tentpole release. And it yielded just over $60 million at the box office on opening weekend. And given like how precipitous the drop off was for The Flash,
right?
I think you're going to see like perhaps an even like harsher fall off because like The Flash fell at 70. So if this one's getting like worse response than that,
well, I think The Flash, and this is what's funny about these movies. The Flash made like $200 million, I think, and it costs a lot more than that. Yeah. And then like the discourse I heard is like, no one wants to watch The Flash. Like, no, $200 million worth of people wanted to watch The Flash. That's a lot of people, but not $1 billion worth of people. And they make these movies so expensive that if you don't make that Billy off of this, then it's a wash.
Dead in the water, yeah.
But this isn't even making what The Flash made.
No.
And The Flash is being crucified.
This one is just, I mean, I think it's because it's like an indie movie that nobody in particular wanted, at least like on a numbers scale. So yeah, like it's just kind of like a shrug. Whereas like, The Flash involved Batman, it involved like Wonder Woman, it's the end of this era of DC. So there's a lot of like stakes in play. Whereas like when Indy 5 was announced, everybody's just kind of like, okay.
Yeah, because my understanding was, and this is, again, extremely casual fan, grew up around the movies. Like, I didn't watch Crystal Skull.
No.
And because everyone's like, dude, Crystal Skull sucks. And I'm like, all right, I won't watch it then. And like,
me too.
Yeah, my life is fine without watching it. And it's very funny watching it now. I was like, oh, that was fine compared to this.
I think for most like normal people, like that's the response they're just going to have. It's just like, it's a new indie movie, whatever. You know?
When did the Crystal Skull come out?
06, 08.
Yeah,
one of those around those times. Yeah,
it was a long time ago, and it was a long time after the last indie movie, which was like '89.
See that I don't have like nostalgia for these movies.
Yeah,
no.
Which is why I was wondering if it was expected to do really well, because I don't know how the Crystal Skull did. I could almost see maybe Crystal Skull having more people wanting to watch it because it's just a little bit closer.
Yeah, more recency.
Yeah. But this one is like, who is the demographic? Like people who have nostalgia for it from the 80s. I don't think there's going to be people who have been waiting since Crystal Skull for the next Indiana Jones movie.
And I think the argument is that Crystal Skull kind of poisoned the well against people saying, oh, we get more indie? I don't think it's an exciting premise.
Yeah. But, we saw two kids that were stoked before we went into our theater.
A handful of Indiana Jones cosplay opening night.
Which I really like.
Of course.
To see.
You want to see people enjoying themselves.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder if it would be kind of stable at the box office because it's still summer, what's coming out, like Mission Impossible. I know Barbie and stuff, but think about like preteens or something like kids.
That's a good question. Do you think a teenager would want to see this movie?
I think kids want to go to the movies.
Right.
So I think that they would watch this. I mean, if you've already seen, The Flash and...
I don't know what kind of in a teenager would have to this movie.
Yeah,
I don't either.
I know. So that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. What's the demographic they're really after? I don't know.
I think the couple in front of us were teens, unless I'm remembering another movie, but I'm pretty sure that was teen, and then like
Oh yeah, you're right.
adults.
Yeah. I mean, if it's grown-ups with nostalgia or whatever, it's...
Mind you, no adults with kids, just adults by
Yeah.
themselves, or with
It's-
like another adult.
That's the crazy thing is like, yeah, if you're Harrison Ford's age when this came out, you're 80 now. You're probably not going to the movies.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a demographic that's shot for. Although I did get an ad for an Applebee's. If you spend $35, they gave you a free ticket to go see.
dang.
So we're seeing
Indiana
it
Jones.
again, basically.
Yeah,
So
so
that's the partnership they're going after.
I mean,
I think it's
The Applebee's
Right.
crowd.
yeah.
yeah.
The
Well,
Kraken movie gets Menchie's, but then Indy gets Applebee's.
That's a good point. That's a great point. I don't know what
They
the
know
point
what
is,
their
but that's a
fucking
great point.
audience: adults and Kraken children, and adults who enjoy froyo.
Do we have anything else to add here?
Yeah, I did not think that it was bad.
Okay.
I did not have the nostalgia for the old movies. And we watched this new one, and I thought it ran long, but that it was kind of fine. There's a lot of chase scenes, but, you know, we watched a bunch of Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a Jason Bourne movie. I've seen a Mission Impossible movie. It's all the same beats, you know.
Yeah.
They're in the market, they're in the street, they have to drive down some stairs. There's some unbelievable feats of driving, you know, and stuff like that, which is fine. But I don't know what it is about the pacing of those, and I feel like this in every Indiana Jones that I can remember, including Crystal Skull, which we just watched, that I'm bored during those scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
If you don't like the chase scenes and it's 75% chase scenes, it sounds like a really strong endorsement of the film that you're making right here.
But I mean, I can acknowledge that this is fine, you know, and
Yeah.
it's supposed to be exciting. And I'm sure there are people who really enjoy those. That's why they put them in there, you know.
Right.
But I think that has the same effect, I think, as like the Spider-Man movie, which I keep saying, which is you putting in all this stuff and you did a great job, but it's so much stuff that you don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I think you're both right. You know, at different points in this conversation, like Colin talked about how it's almost like you could make this movie more interesting by not having the action scenes because there's enough of a concept for a story there where you could be like, yeah, he's older now,
Right.
so it's all about like the process of being in this field and finding this thing and not having to do crazy car chase scenes.
I liked the puzzle solving. I'll
Exactly.
I'll
Yeah,
give
yeah.
you that. That was I finally found my ray of sunshine.
So if they would have leaned into that trim
Yeah.
to length, boom, it's a great movie. And then on your end, Justine, I'm in the same boat as like I'm not an indie fan. I have no allegiance or affinity toward it. So I just loved watching $295 million get lit on fire. I love that shit.
Did it
just
look expensive though?
honestly, yes, because de-aging costs a lot. But then also like that first 30 minutes and in subsequent action scenes, but more so the first 30 minutes, it's just like, this is intense, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you're taking a horse down the subway. You got New York shots.
Yeah,
All
there's
right.
that. I don't know. Yeah.
If there wasn't the action stuff, it wouldn't be an Indiana Jones movie anymore.
Right.
You need to have both. You need to have, like, I can accept these movies and think, okay, it's kind of cool that there's some, you know, historical
Historical fiction.
okay, yeah. But if it just was that, I don't know who that would appeal to very much, you know? You kind of have to have all that other stuff.
Okay, so when was the first Raiders movie? Was that 82?
I think 81.
81. Okay, and then it's 2023. That is roughly 40 years
Yeah,
working
yeah.
with here. Is it okay to take something that spans 40 years to like you said, it's not an Indiana Jones movie, but can a 2023 installment reflect the aging of the character and show how far it's come to not have to be, you know, balls to the wall action adventure, just to make a better movie?
I also don't know how it or if it says or whatever how old he is in those old movies. So he could be not 80. He
Right.
could be
Sure.
65 or something
Sure.
like that. And then it wouldn't be so like unbelievable. Like Harrison Ford, yeah, he's an 80-year-old man. They're making him do all this stuff. I don't know how much of it he actually did himself. But that kind of taints how much you believe that he's actually like should be doing. So I don't know how old Indy is what I'm getting at. And I don't remember him doing anything too crazy as an old man.
Yeah, I don't think he's like punching outside of his weight class. I just don't think he's performing. I don't think he's showing up for these.
As an
fucking
actor.
things. Yeah, I don't think he's selling these feats.
Yeah, like De Niro and About My Father, showed
he's-
up more than Harrison Ford in this one.
What was that flick about the Forgotten King? What was that called? The lady that
Lost King?
Lost King. Like that's kind of what I would want an Indiana Jones movie now to be.
That wouldn't be an Indiana Jones movie.
Exactly, but it would be.
But shrink the budget.
If Brent's talking
Make it
about
that,
how
yeah.
you get a guy, how you mature a film, like ironically, Manigault did it perfectly with Logan. Like that's
Yeah.
how you age a character gracefully. So this should have been a match in heaven, except they had him still do the same things because it has to feel like an Indiana Jones movie.
So it would have been a totally different movie. They would have
Yes.
just called it like Dr. Jones.
Sure.
And then it would have been that like
That's
dramatic,
right.
like slow.
Yeah.
You just sold me on a film. You
Dude,
sold
yeah,
me a ticket.
I would watch Jones. Just Jones the movie.
I have
Yeah.
no damn problem with that.
That would be a different movie.
Of course.
I get
Of
that
course.
he's kind of doing his farewell tour of, these characters that he's so well known for. And he's, he doesn't have to show up. He's just doing it for the fans, kind of. It's fine. And I think that's why, weren't they trying to kind of get Shia to be like taking over? So that's why they kind
Yeah.
of also lean pretty hard into this girl, his goddaughter, doing stuff, and maybe the little boy that they're with.
Do you guys like these guys? Anyone?
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
think they're trying to spin
Fishing.
it off into a wombat taking over the
Well,
franchise?
they ain't spinning off shit on a movie that's losing.
I know, but like
gross
ostensibly,
GDP of a small country.
before box office, do you think that's what they were trying to do?
I mean, they
Yeah.
would love. This is what I find so weird about this series is like Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones, period, end of story. But it's like James Bond has existed for a long time, and there's not fundamentally a difference in the characters.
Right.
They have to have certain beats, but like it's the fact that there's only 3 movies, which is a fine, perfect amount of fucking movies to leave it the fuck alone at. But when you only have 3 movies as opposed to James Bond, which kind of consistently cranks one out every couple years, swaps people out, doesn't fucking tell you, you're my cousin from 2 marriages ago. You are now 007. I've hand you the baton. Well, thank you. And then he's Indiana Jones. It's just hi, I'm James Bond. You look different than the last guy. Fucking suck my dick.
me.
I thought the whole thing about James Bond is that the agency is like, you're just going to take this name and number.
I mean, does it
kind of
even
a
need
title.
to be? Yeah. Well, again, I'm just saying, like, you could have Historical Adventure Man and it would be fine.
That's what they should have called this movie.
Yes, historical.
Historical
anime.
Adventure Man.
It would be fine. But you can't do that when you have 3 movies only and it's been 40 years and then you cranked out 2, half-baked ones after the fact. There's no fucking way to successfully hand the baton off if they've been this precious about it. They even did you guys remember the Young Indiana Jones show at all?
The show, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, have you watched that?
I think I vaguely remember it being on at the time, but did anyone care?
I don't know. I tried to watch it when it was on like Sci-Fi or whatever.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this
Was it
is...
live action?
Yeah, it was a live action show. It was like in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like different stories. And it was quick, like 30-minute stuff.
I
But
guess that makes sense. There was Xena,
Yeah.
there was Hercules.
Yeah.
Totally
Why
could have
not?
done it, but people don't. It doesn't work. And again, it's because everyone wants to put IP first, but it's like, no, it's Steven Spielberg's fucking obsessive vision that he's trying to recreate from his childhood, and his wide-eyed wonder gets put onto you, the human being sitting in a chair watching it, and Harrison Ford's charisma gets put onto you sitting in the chair watching it. Those are the people that make it, and it's their vision. And it isn't just guy with hat, no one cares. So there's no way to pass it on, just like there's no way to have a book series continued by someone else or
No, I don't think so. I don't think that they did a very good job of it, maybe.
no.
But this movie, if it was 5 writers, then it was. But I feel like there were people involved who like Indiana Jones movies.
Sure, possibly a little too much.
Yeah, so I feel like it had the vibe, even if not like the exact style of the older ones. But I also don't think that's a bad thing for a totally new like generation of people. It doesn't have to be the same. I'm thinking specifically of Force Awakens, which was the thing that made me feel like, oh, Star Wars is kind of cool.
Right, right.
Feels very different from those old ones though. And so I think you can update it because I don't think you need to have the Spielberg, I don't think you need to have him. I don't think you need to have them feel pulpy. I think you can transition into something else, keeping the same spirit of it. I guess I kind of wish that had been executed better. I just feel like they didn't get it right.
Well, yeah,
I think they could, but I don't think they
Yeah,
did.
and I mean, yeah, they didn't. So, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Are we putting putting this one on the hat rack, or are we grabbing the whip and going on an adventure? I'm racking this motherfucker. I really didn't like this movie. You know, obviously it was competent, but I don't care. I don't think it. I will go as far as to say it was not good and it was not fine. It actually was bad, and that's just my honest opinion.
I did not think it was bad. I guess we'll crack the whip. I didn't know that he had a big thing with his hat.
Well, because he never had before. It's his fetishization, and never mind.
I thought he had a hat.
Yeah,
He always had a hat, but like, watch Raiders. You think they're fucking spending 45-second glory shots on the hat?
Isn't in Crystal Skulls there's a scene where he picks up his whip and hat?
There's a big thing about
And then
it.
it's like, camera goes up, right? And it shows him putting it on.
They milk the
The
hat.
music.
They milk the hat, but not nearly as much as this one. This one milks the
Well, he
hat.
just forgets his hat. It's a little forgettable moment.
Yeah, he's old. Leave him alone.
He's a little hee-hee.
I thought it was neat. And I like these movies also because they have that like historical fiction bent. Like for those two little kids, they weren't that little, but for those two kids like that were dressed like Indy, you know, it's cool to think that these kids could get into like archaeology or something or history.
If this movie can keep their attention for 2.5 hours.
Those kids were stoked.
There we
They
go.
had just finished watching the movie and they were so excited. So I think that that's neat, and I thought it was fine.
I'm cracking the whip. Not enthusiastically.
Half-hearted
Like I
crack.
said, I really loved watching $295 million just effectively get lit on fire for visual treats. But the movie itself, not good, and definitely way too long. But if you like some spectacle, there's some in this. Yeah, keep that number in mind. $295 million.
No one asked for it.
It'll get its money back in due time. DVD
Hell yeah.
sales, you know? Streamings.
Once word of mouth gets
Applebee's.
out.
Fucking Applebee's.
Yeah.
That
Sure.
promotion.
I'm sure that's why they lost some tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, fuck, free. You're going to ask me if I liked the Indiana Jones 5 Continental Drift, the movie? I'm cracking that whip. I'm going to get on that fucking jet plane. We're going to say fuck. We're going to go with the... What is it? What's that guy? Dr. Hitler's guy?
Dr. Hitler.
Dr. Hitler and Dr. Jones. We're going to go take that Hitler plane, go into that wormhole, go into the 17 Roman years, and we're going to fucking shoot up some Romans and
Hell
call
yeah.
them bitches. Find, what's his name? Mr. Archiman? What's his name?
Archimedes.
Archimedes. I'm going to whoop his ass. and-
Him?
Bam!
yeah, beat his ass.
Everyone gets it.
Beat your old ass.
Everyone can get it. Get back in that wormhole. Go back in time to my regular time,
Right.
2023, and see how that affects history.
Check out my PlayStation 5. What's up, Archimedes?
You think about now, we have like GTA 8 and
Yep.
like PS7s.
If Archimedes had,
Got
gotten
his
up
ass
on-
beat.
Yeah.
Don't kill him. We just beat his ass.
Yeah.
and
He's
then,
just like, I need to make this thing now so I can go get that guy.
Yeah. Motivation.
Yeah.
and that's how he finds out about the Continental Drift.
It's called Tough Love. Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken is a DreamWorks animated feature. It is directed by Kirk Demico and Farron Pearl. The fella, he directed The Croods, another DreamWorks bit. And the lady, she hasn't directed anything, but she was a storyboard person. She did She-Ra, which
Oh.
yeah, big
Whoa.
She-Ra. Not the 80s She-Ra, the new one on Netflix. And Trolls World Tour, also a
That makes sense.
DreamWorks joint. And it was written by Pam Brady, Brian C. Brown, and Elliot DiGiuseppe. And this one stars, you got Ruby Gillman. She's played by Lana Condor. She played Jubilee in X-Men Age of Apocalypse.
Weird.
Yeah, cool, right? And she's done a lot of other stuff, too. She's the titular Ruby Gillman. She is a part of a family of Krakens who live on the land
In Oceanside.
in Oceanside. I assume Oceanside, New York.
It doesn't exist. It's just
there's-
Oceanside town.
Okay, we'll just say
What if the
Oceanside.
buildings.
writers didn't know about Oceanside?
I don't think they did. It's like a New England kind of deal.
Yeah. So they're in this town, Oceanside. They live on the land. They got to stay in the land because as soon as they get in the water, they get Krakenified, and they're trying to live as people. Except they're very much so.
They're Krakens.
Yeah, they maybe look like an axolotl or something.
They're blue.
You know? They're blue skin, and their bit is like, if anyone asks to say you're from Canada, that's
and people are like,
Good bit.
okay.
good bit. You got Jane Fonda. She's in it as the grandmama. You got Toni Collette as Ruby's mom. And Will Forte as the Kraken hunter. Gordon Lighthouse. Funny bit. That's all you need to do to get me. Hit me with a Gordon Lighthouse bit, and I'm in. Anywho, so Ruby Gillman, unbelievably enough, living by a seaside town, falls in the water before her prom adventure begins. And she slips in the water before she can do that, and she turns into a giant-ass Kraken. And oopsie, now she has to learn about her Kraken heritage from her Kraken family and the Kraken side of things. But she's, she was raised as a human. She has her place in the human world. This little girl starts showing up. She's a mermaid. But turns out the movie starts like everything you know about the sea is wrong, and it's like Krakens aren't bad, mermaids though are little fuckers, and so this little girl's a fucker, and the mermaids and the Kraken have been at war for a long time. Ruby Gillman doesn't know this. She's just she's a quirky girl. She's got stuff to do. She can't be thinking about these race wars going down underwater. So unbeknownst to her, she gets tricked by this mermaid into like giving up the secret weapon that her family's been hiding, kinda. Now the mermaid is armed and it's fucking war.
Kaiju.
Yes, it is a kaiju war. Giant-ass Krakens, giant-ass mermaids are fighting in the ocean. Now this is a goddamn movie right here.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I had a surprising amount of fun during this. I really enjoyed this film. It's a very Turning Red kind of thing, right? Family, secret, not really explored.
Yeah, she turns into a big animal.
Yeah. And I don't know if you think it's a little hacky to look at it as like a allegory for puberty, but it isn't entirely not.
Yeah.
But more than any of that, though, it's just kind of a fun flick. I think everyone does a good job. I like the way it looked. There's this remember like when that Grubhub commercial came out and it was just like the whole world was making fun of it because it just looked like dog shit? No one?
Oh, the 3D animation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they've dubbed it like corporate art style where you just see these like kind of amorphous blobs, and like once you notice it, you can't really unsee it. This movie has a pinch of that. There's also, what have I heard? There's so many derogatory terms for these things. Bean mouth.
What's that?
Like a Steven Universe, or where like the mouths kind of look like beans, like kidney beans.
Sure.
It's like it had a dash of Grubhub. It had a dash of bean mouth for sure. But it was still really fun to look at. I like seeing cartoons that do cartoony things. Like the Krakens, they don't have spines, right? So they're like boinging up and down. They're bouncing. They're expanding. They're contracting. It's silly. It's cartoony. It's a cartoon that does a thing that cartoons can do, which is a great thing for a cartoon to do, I think. And you don't always get that in a cartoon. So that was really cool. And yeah, it was fast paced, kind of fun. I don't know. Deceptively, I would have never guessed I was as bowled over by the Teenage Kraken as I was, but I really enjoyed it.
We were like hyping it up before just because
it's funny.
Yeah. And then it was like, oh, pleasant.
Yeah. It was kind of like
we were right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that animation style, it's not for me. But where they won me over was they actually got really creative with some of the elements. Like, for instance, when the mermaid takes full kaiju form,
right,
the hair is made out of waves.
Yeah, like breaking waves.
Yeah,
like
white
like the
crashing
froth. Waves.
Yeah,
froth.
yeah.
That's the word for
it. Yeah, it's like really captivating, but also just like I guess the technical term for it would be the color theory behind everything.
Yeah.
Within the animation.
Yes.
That's what made it come to life for me. It was just like like when it's first few frames, I'm going like, man, I don't like this style. But then like the way they use color to mimic bioluminescence and just like an underwater realm that is very just imaginative. I love that. And yeah, it's a tight hour and 39 minutes. Like after seeing Indy, which was just like went on forever. You're like, oh, cool. This is I understand the structure of this film. it feels comfortable, it feels cozy, and they're killing it. And this is if you listen to some earlier episodes and we watch some animation films, sometimes you'll hear us comment about how why did they need a name actor for this?
Right.
Will Forte makes the case for why, this is the perfect case for why you would want to cast somebody that is known. He over-delivered on this.
Absolutely. He puts to play he basically plays, MacGruber when he's all, flustered and angry and all that. And he's just doing that in a sound studio for this grizzled old sea captain who, has seen a Kraken before. People don't believe him. They think he's a conspiracy theorist, so on and so forth. And he gets to be crazy and over the top, which is what you love to see Will Forte do.
It was great.
Yeah, and there's Toni Collette's a name, Jane Fonda is a name, but I don't think they're completely resting on that.
You could have swapped anybody in those.
And they
roles.
They suit the roles well.
Yeah.
They fit the roles well.
Yeah.
I don't think our Ruby is doing particularly well, unfortunately.
Oh, really?
We don't got numbers, but why don't we give what was the headline you saw today?
Ruby Gillman drowns at the box office.
I've been sitting on that.
You're making that up.
Yeah, they probably had it's probably a choose your own adventure. They had the article pre-written, and they're let's see what the numbers do. If it's below this line, then we hit them with this one. If it's above, we do this one.
Yeah, they had that banked for during the Little Mermaid stuff, but
they probably used the same one.
Movie rocked. Tell me about the frozen yogurt.
There's a frozen treat at Menchie's called the Teenage Kraken. I don't know if it's called that. There's a Teenage Kraken flavor at Menchie's. I think they've already taken it out, unfortunately.
Really?
We don't know that for sure.
At our local one, it was taken out when we went. We went one time.
We went the day before it came out, right?
Yeah. It was great.
And it came out. We went back.
Gone.
It was gone.
It's already gone. It's a matter of days
one.
we're talking about here, people.
I don't
This
know,
isn't weeks.
I don't know if they just weren't, restocked or something like that.
I think this might be a case of Kraken mania. The world is just so
They
smitten.
sold out.
Oh,
Exactly.
I have an idea.
Go
I think
for
I
it.
see what's going on.
happening?
The workers know what's up.
Oh.
Rare flavor, rare movie flavor.
Backdooring.
Yeah, no, they're just keeping hey,
Hoarding it.
Yeah, hoarding it to waiting a minute, another 10 years, selling it online. The either it's powder. I don't know how they make froyo, but they're keeping it frozen for a long ass
Do you
time.
think they're stashing it to put on Filmogs later?
No, they're probably gonna sell it on eBay.
So it was a blue raspberry flavor.
Yes.
And in the marketing, it shows the cup of it and then multicolored sprinkles on it. So that's how I had it. And it broke my mouth.
It broke my
mouth. The sweetest thing I have ever eaten in my life. And my teeth were hurting.
The fascinating aspect about your experience is, Colin gave me the report shortly after you guys went, and he said that it was self-serve.
Yeah.
So they didn't want to control the experience or the ratios, which the more I think about it, the more I respect it, because it's y'all are adults, or you're adults with kids.
Yeah.
We trust you to make this how you think it should be versus us telling you how it should be.
You want some sour apple gummy circles thrown in here?
Do it.
Do your thing. You want some bobas? Throw them in. You want some
Stale mangoes? Go ahead, throw them in.
you want some chocolate pieces? That would be fucking disgusting. Please don't do that, but you could.
Do it.
You could. Chocolate
Yeah.
sprinkles.
Also, funny you should say that because it was just children in
Yeah.
there just making a mess and putting all kinds of weird stuff.
Bunch of noise.
Yeah.
But I guess it was a promotional.
So listen,
Yeah.
basically, this movie gave me two gifts. One was itself and having a joyous time at the cinema, and two was the Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken flavor sorbet at Menchie's with nerds sprinkled on top.
So how different were, between the two of you, how different were your dishes?
Dylan had it too.
Oh, Dylan had it too? Okay.
Yeah, I think they both just went sprinkles and other sugars.
Yeah.
Me,
Other sugars.
me, an adult, put fresh
Yes.
mango and strawberry in it.
But it was stale.
Oh yeah, it was fucking old. It was it was towards the end. I'm sure it was been there
Yeah.
all day and underneath the heat lamp.
And then were the strawberries really syrupy?
No, it was just strawberry.
It was fresh.
Yeah, well,
At one point, in the
yeah. I
morning,
mean,
it was fresh.
the strawberry was fresh. I think they must have refilled. No one must get the mango in the area that we go
Right.
to, but the strawberries were fresher,
Okay.
or at least not as bad as the mango.
Did you enjoy your creation?
Loved it.
Awesome.
Because I put the Dole Whip. This is a free plug for Menchie's, by the way.
You got a Dole Whip?
There's a vegan Dole Whip in there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and I got that. I mixed that together, and I was like, paradise, baby, tropical fruit.
Definitely tropical, yeah.
Yeah, blue and pineapple.
Yellow, blue raz, pineapple.
Presumably
not a
blue
flavor.
raspberry.
It's blue raspberry, but
Is
that's not a
blue
flavor.
raspberry exists, right?
No. It exists in Flavor Town.
Like where Guy Fieri,
Yeah.
he probably made that. Seems like, honestly, if you think about it,
Yeah.
that sounds like something he created. Hey guys, I made a blue raspberry.
Except he would just leave it at Raz. Right?
Blue raz. It's in a dumpster.
I think you didn't have blue raspberry candies when you grew up, right, Brent?
Yeah.
You did?
Definitely. Yeah. And what's funny is Mark and I, we just went to the 7-Eleven in Redlands where we went as kids. And yeah, I remember getting like, this is sad. I remember when blue raspberry broke.
See, that's what I'm saying. There was a pre and post blue raspberry.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
What did you have it at first?
I think it might have been Nerds.
Mine was the blow pop. The blue raspberry blow pop had a
Boom.
fucking
That's a classic.
They just choked the fuck out of 6th grade in Del Dios
That's
High
where
School.
they
in
nailed it,
Escondido.
though. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like that is like the quintessential blue raz.
Because there was no blue raspberry, and then there was.
And then there
That
was.
was my point.
Yep.
And I feel like cotton candy bubble gum came out around the same time, and that was also pretty on fire. But let me tell you, the goddamn blue raspberry.
What's blue cotton candy?
Cotton candy is just cotton candy.
Yeah, it's just blue.
Well, then what's pink?
The classic
It's
is
just
pink, and then they did
pink.
like a blue one.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's going to taste the same.
I don't know. I always taste something different.
Okay, Mr. Fucking Gourmet.
Well, I'm saying pink is pink.
There's a new season of the Bear, everyone.
And
Dylan's
blue
a
is
fucking
blue
gourmet
flavor.
right
What do they say also? Like the Trix cereal doesn't actually have different flavors for the different colors.
Probably not. I could
Yeah,
believe
you just,
different
like-
textures or densities.
It's like a
Depending on the
psychosomatic
shape.
thing.
The
You know?
shape, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but there's no flavors.
but yeah, you just like you see the color and you're like banana.
Oh yeah. I do that
Anyways,
all the time.
Teenage Crack.
Wait,
What?
I got a question.
What's that?
When you were leaving the theater
Mm-hmm.
after this film, I didn't watch it obviously, but from what you explained it to me,
Right.
it sounded too familiar. You know, someone learns about their family history, and they have to deal with it.
Yes.
When you were leaving the theater, were you, any of you guys, or anyone else in the theater? I'm sure it was half packed or full. Was it full?
No.
Was it packed?
No.
Anyone?
I think
Yeah, there
was
were people.
Yeah, a scant few cinephiles smoking pipes with robes on.
Dylan. The real ones were there.
Okay. Did anyone leave the theater and was like, was it just me, or was that Luck of the Irish in 2023?
Well, look at the Irish. What's this film you're talking about?
Oh, cinephile that I went to watch the Kraken movie with. It's the Disney's Luck of the Irish, the Disney Channel Luck of the Irish, where the kid learns that he's a leprechaun and he has to deal with it before the big game.
I know what I'm watching tonight.
starring.
Fuck. That one, the guy from the Burbs, your guy.
Yeah, Dr. Klopek from The Burbs is who is
his
also
grandfather.
has the cameo in Gremlins 2 because it's directed by the same director, which I'm still mad that I only now put together. The guy who gets the cameo in Gremlins 2 and gets fired over the camera for taking a smoke break. He also plays the grandfather
Of the kid who learns he's a leprechaun.
in Disney's Luck of the Irish.
Because he looks like a leprechaun.
He was
yes.
short. He's shorter than everyone in the film, I would say.
A slight man,
Yeah.
a legend,
Yeah, rest in peace, a legend, dude.
a fucking legend.
But no one said that when you were walking out?
No, again, I pleb that I am. I just put together the turning red thing, but I'm sure there's.
There weren't enough people to
Is someone
talk about it.
someone hearing you explain it? Let's look at the Irish. And then you said turning red.
All right,
Okay, Pixar head.
keep it on Reddit, buddy. Okay, so Teenage Kraken, are we diving right in, or is this are we going to be landlubbers on this one? I'll dive right in. This is a top rate film. Liked it a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll dive in, become a Kraken, hang out with my Kraken royal family, and get the guy at the end.
Why not?
She does both.
Sure.
She can do it all. She's Ruby Gillman. It was really cool. It was creative. It was really colorful, which I'm so glad to see. We've been seeing all these animated movies, and they just kind of forget what they are or something.
Right.
And this was like for kids. Lots of music, which is a little bit annoying sometimes, but I'm not 8. So I thought it worked really well, and I had a good time. Yeah.
Dive in. Super enjoyable. Like I said, very imaginative, especially because a lot of the undersea elements. I just love those parts, and the hair, the damn froth hair. That was absolutely incredible. I think definitely bring kids, but I think you can even go into the teens because there's some mother issues that when daughters kind of rebel against their mothers, I think it kind of shows like a healthy path or how you can kind of come back together. So it might be instructive in a way, but at the very least, it's a super entertaining watch.
I would dive in just off of description alone. If it's a cartoon, I think you're gonna like it. That's it. That's all I got to say.
What about the dessert? Do you want people to eat that?
Sure, eat that fucking dessert. If you can find it at your local Menchie's, grab that. Just by itself. Don't put shit on it. Just eat it by itself.
Send pics of you eating Menchie's
and tag
to moviemasters760@gmail.com.
Post them to your personal account and then tag us. Yeah.
Tell us where we can eat it.
Yes.
Since we can't have it.
Put some nerds on it. Don't listen to Dylan. Put some nerds on it.
Put some fruits.
Fresh fruit.
Yeah, go to the Trader Joe's across the street. Put some fruits in.
We got a double header. Just me and Justine sitting in the theater.
Oh.
Yeah, we got a lot of us. Past Lives is a film written and directed by Celine Song. Been a minute. Help me out on this one.
Are you gonna watch it?
I'm listening. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. But go ahead and talk about it.
It is just the story of two childhood friends, a girl and a boy. The girl moves away. The boy looks for her years later, finds her. They reconnect. They Skype. They kind of like each other, but they live far away. He's still in Korea. She's moved to New York. No, where is she?
So they were kids in Korea. She left Korea at a pretty young age. Moves to New York. She's working in theater, I believe. Eventually, but going to school in America. He's staying over in Korea. He's going to learn Mandarin in China. But basically, they reconnect when they're in college over Skype, and then
they're kind of getting in a relationship, but they're like, this is weird, and we can't visit each other. So she's like, let's stop talking for a little bit. But that little bit turns into
12 years.
12 years.
She is beguiled by an American fella, and she's gets married to him. And then the guy kind of comes poking around. He's like, "Yeah, I know you're married, but like, you want to hang out?" And there's this kind of it's an unrequited love story. They don't requite their love. Brent, I took umbrage with you.
Me?
Yes.
What did I do?
I thought about you during this film.
No, I'm so sorry.
Whoa. What does that mean?
I'll tell you what this means, Dylan. I'll elaborate.
Okay.
You said, this is going to sound so ridiculous. I've been saving this one until recording. You said that No Hard Feelings, the sex comedy starring a Jennifer Lawrence, was elevated by the talent of Jennifer Lawrence.
Sure.
And I was thinking about it all week. I was like, she talented?
I think so.
And my answer is no, she isn't. Obviously, there's a talent in, saying lines, memorizing lines, and doing what a director says and going along with a script. Obviously, that's talent. But I don't think she's doing much more than that.
Okay.
And then I'm watching...
She's not very nuanced.
No. And when I'm watching this movie, I was like, oh, this is what I'm talking about. This is talent. Because I think the actors, because they're given very sparse things to work with. It's all... in the face, how they're communicating. You're spending time on the fucking laptop, and they're sort of like showing this pain of not what's on script and what they're reading, but like the feelings of these characters connecting with each other and not really being able to be what they want to be to each other. And they have feelings, but they're not trying to express the feelings. And there's such a depth to their performance in this film that I said, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is talent. Fuck Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay, I'll give you that. Given the premise, compare and contrast to Of an Age, are we talking like?
It's pretty dang similar in terms of like it's totally performance driven.
Yeah,
and I would say Of an Age had strong dialogue.
Yes.
This film doesn't. However,
so this is like more in the face.
It's in the in-between feelings.
Okay.
The feelings that lie in between feelings. It's happy and sad and lovey and not. And it also does a lot of like ambiance. Like actually, scratch everything I've been saying. 3 movies we've been pitched recently. three movies we've been pitched recently, small, quiet indie movies that are supposed to be like reprieves from the big budget summer onslaughts, right? We've been given Asteroid City. We've been given Sanctuary. We've been given You Hurt My Feelings, this is also an A24 distributed film. Whereas I felt You Hurt My Feelings was a piece of shit. I quite liked this movie. And each of those films was supposed to be like, hey, you don't need to watch CGI robots punch each other. Watch this quiet little story about people and relationships. And they've all just been agonizingly painful to watch.
Yeah.
So this was the film where I was like, okay, yeah, we have ambiance, we have human relationships, we have a small story, we have a lot of New York City. Like You Hurt My Feelings was, I think trying to convey the feeling of New York City. This movie is like a lot of just long shots, them walking along the shoreline, but
it wasn't a Love Again New York City.
No.
Okay.
and like all of it just worked for me. I was admittedly, everything I'm saying as far as like just a lot of shots of people talking and a lot of long shots and ambiance and all that, it teetered on being boring. And I would say it was kind of like, I couldn't say this was not a boring movie, but I will give it 100% that at one point I had to take I had to use the restroom. I was like, fuck, I don't want to go to I want to like stay and see where this is going because I don't want to miss it. Because so at some point it kind of comes together and picks up, and it's like nothing. By the way, we said spoilers earlier. Let me tell you, nothing happens in this fucking movie. This is a whole lot of nothing. Like there is no dramatic. The husband doesn't shoot the guy. The guy doesn't
need to
get on one knee and start crying while rain is pouring down. It's just like, so you're married. Husband seems like a nice guy. We can go out on a date, all three of us. We're having drinks at a bar. We're talking Korean. He doesn't understand. We're trying to include him in the conversation. He's feeling a little threatened, but he's not being a dick about it. He's just obviously feeling a little threatened because his wife is talking to a old flame. But he's being cool. Everyone is cool. Everyone is measured. It is an adult relationship story. And admittedly, I have no problem if you want to call this boring. I couldn't like say, no, dude, this fucking rocks. It's not that kind of movie. But I was engaged in this in what was happening in this movie in a way that I wish I was on some of those other little indie movies that we've been given.
For both of you, do you think Dylan and I need to check this out in regards to like end of year discussion type stuff? Are there like performances or aspects about this movie that you think would make quote unquote the list?
I mean, I think it's probably a good thing to have to contrast with like You Hurt My Feelings.
Right.
So maybe in that respect, but I was not as enamored as Colin. I mean, I wouldn't say he was like over the moon or whatever, but I did find it a little bit boring.
Got it.
I think there was not enough dialogue.
Okay.
And again, it's one of these A24 things where it's just you're relying a little too much on silence so that you're kind of losing storytelling or directing or something. There's something missing. But overall, yeah, it's a nice little story. It has a neat idea. So they react the way that real people might. And so that's kind of nice to see, especially contrasting with some of the other quote unquote, small films. So in that way, I think so, but I don't think necessarily as like a standalone that you would be super missing out.
Yeah, so there's not any like standout performances or anything that you think will like garner laurels at the end of the year.
I don't know.
I'd say we're both on board with saying that Of an Age is better for its type than this. If you want a similar movie that's maybe it's a little bit more fun, engaging.
Yeah, and I think that they kind of tackle different ideas of kind of being a little bit outside of a typical relationship.
Right.
So that's kind of the same feeling and like conflicting culture. Because her husband is just a New Yorker and then this guy is Korean. But again, they don't get enough into it that you would think of it as like a real...
I think maybe if they got more into it, it would be a little... and it's very aware of itself. Like guy, and I think this part is in the trailer. The guy's like, yeah, I'm like, if this were a story, because they're both like, in the art world. He's like, if this were a story, I'd be the villain. Like, I'm the evil white guy that, took you away and married you and, stripped you of your culture. This is the guy that you reconnect with and all of that. Like, this is we're teed up here for what you would kind of think to do. And so intelligently, they do not do that in the movie. And she still gets to have like a bit of a character arc and everything, so it's pretty satisfying in that regard. But, I'm going to recommend it to Dylan, and I'll tell you why.
Yes.
At the end of the movie, there was some ladies watching it in the theater with us, and one of them said, that was a really relaxing movie.
No, really?
Word for word.
I love it. Dude, it's catching on, man.
Yeah.
It's catching on.
And listen, if I said it wouldn't mean anything, but to hear hear it coming from a stranger's mouth, I was like, there you go. And that's what these smaller movies are supposed to be like. We're not running around the world and chasing things with a bunch of CG. It's relaxing.
Pretty sure I heard someone crying too.
Oh.
Hey, I have a question. This is dead ass. And I know, Justine, you like to joke around, and Colin, you like to troll me. But, like, would I cry sincerely? Because I'm supposed to watch this with somebody, and I do not. I can't with the feeling sometimes, and I don't know.
Hey, buddy, it's going to be okay.
I think so. I know you love love.
I do love love. That's not.
This is a different kind of love.
Yeah, this is grown folk stuff. This is, again, everyone.
Not child love.
Damn.
Yeah, everyone's. It's not played
Not
up for
young
melodrama.
love.
Hey, you called it, though. He loves to troll you.
I mean, it can be agonizing to watch because, like, it's unrequited love. It's like these two people who are kind of great for each other, but they just can't be with each other due to circumstance and a million other things. And they talk about that too. They're like, we could have been together and things could have gone really bad. It's not like this is a sure thing here. And
I don't see it as a love story. I don't think it's an unrequited love thing. It's just a what if kind of thing. And I think that's a more interesting take.
I don't feel like the drama is played up super hard, so I don't think you would cry. But I think you would, as a deeply feeling man, as an emotional man. I think you will connect to it.
If you're just not into like loud, long Indiana Jones, and you want something quiet, low budget,
cerebral, doesn't insult your intelligence.
Yeah.
Fine film to watch.
All right.
Past lives. Are we falling in love, or are we gonna just be friends? I'm saying love because it's compared to some other things. Objectively, I think outside of context, it might be more like a like. Definitely not friend zoning. Might be more of a like than a love, but compared to some whiffs that we've gotten recently, and nothing is worse than a pretentious whiff. An Indiana Jones whiff is fine. That's just general issue corporate fuckery. But like a pretentious ass heavy accolades whiff is annoying as fuck. This is not a whiff at all. I liked it. That's all.
Yeah. I kind of feel in that in between zone. I think if you like these kind of like quieter, more pensive movies, for sure.
I'm finding that I do. I really am. Everybody is a documentary directed by Julie Cohen. This lady must have some kind of in. Remember that movie from last year? It was like Gabby Giffords Can't Be Defeated or whatever.
Nope.
There was like a documentary last year. There was like, wait, that's in the theaters? Same director. So she has some in. She did the RBG movie. She's just done
I was
documentary.
also in the theater.
Yeah, she's a documentarian, and her documentaries get in movies, and I think we all find it a little weird when the documentary is in the movie. Yeah. But listen, you've heard about the LGBTQIA. This is all about the I, baby. It's intersex people born sort of in between, either chromosomally or extra parts, and it's basically a fucking horror show of what people who are born that way have to go through, or at least in the past had to go through, or when doctors are like, well, just fucking pick one and then we'll just correct it as it goes along. And basically it focuses on three people who went through that. Just doctors saying, we'll call this one a boy, we'll call this one a girl, and just make this happen, make it so.
And just surgeries to do that to them. How they felt growing up, where they landed now with their gender identity. kind of gets into the history of the quote unquote medical establishment's view about gender and intersex bodies, and kind of shows you the villain of where it all kind of started and the messed up stuff that they make these people go through.
And stylistically, like it's nothing like razzle dazzle. It's all about like communicating the story. I think the information is first and foremost in the presentation, and I think the movie does a great job of like humanizing the issue. So I think obviously a lot of times in gender discussions and theories and all that, it's like, so if a person is like this and they want to do with that, is that okay if it's on the fucking third Tuesday of a it gets very theoretical and very abstract. So it's nice to be like, yeah, here's my fucking story. I'm a person, I'm living. Here's how I was treated. Here's what would be cool if it was changed about, basically just the medical. It focuses, of course, on the medical side, but ostensibly culture in general. Like when people are, can we just fucking accept people for how they are, right?
Or at least just let them decide,
Yeah.
When they are of age to decide. That was a big thing. We're just like, for kids, they don't have any body autonomy.
Right.
Especially when they're getting lied to by doctors and stuff.
Yeah, and that's super harsh too, as it gets into the talks to the parents, and they're like imagine the fucking guilt you carry if like you just went along with what a doctor said and your kid's like, yeah, that fucked me up. Yeah. And you're just like, it's so complicated to live with. And I think if there's like a silver lining to it, or the way they kind of balance out like what is a very just horrifying practice and just situation that goes on, is they talk a lot about all the people involved are really like, activists, and they're kind of trying to bring to light this problem, make sure it doesn't happen for future generations. And towards the end of the movie, you see two of the people talking to a mom who has an intersexed kid, and she's just like, yeah, the doctors aren't pushing for this or that. They're saying like, give it some time and then we'll figure it out when we figure it out. And these people who were like, that is very different than how we were brought up, and that is very great to hear that things are kind of slowly changing in that direction. And honestly, if you want to talk about like tears welling up, I don't know if this is like just me being an old softy or whatever, but when I see people kind of like speaking truth to power and organizing, and think about like the fight they're up against, they got these people talking in front of fucking senators in Texas and shit, trying to be like, okay, so here I am, I exist. Like,
it's a nightmare.
What now? It's inspiring, they're turning this, what would be a tragic, what is a tragic story, into sort of an empowering thing, because they're like, trying to prevent future generations from it. And it's tightly wound story.
Stylistically, are we embedding into these people's lives, or is it talking head, or maybe a hybrid?
A bit of both, yeah. I mean, like I said, they're telling their story in a pretty big way, but they're also giving you flashbacks to like, old like talks from doctors in the 60s and stuff.
Give you context for where it's been. Yeah.
Right, and it relies a lot on the 60 Minutes story from like the turn of the century, about just one of these horror stories. These people's story, this information is what they're trying to get out. And I think that kind of justifies maybe the reach that this movie has, as far as like, why is this in theaters? Because it's kind of an important issue. And it's whoever is involved with the movie is like, let's get as many eyeballs as we can on this issue. I think it's issue driven more than like, stylistic kind of wankery. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But I thought the style of it was refreshing. It is a very tragic topic, but it's showing you these people who are really accepting of who they are, and kind of like acknowledge that they have gone through all these things, but that they've kind of landed somewhere that they can try to help other people. Like there's documentaries where it's just like, look at all this tragedy. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Look at it. It's sad.
In the end, this person died. That person died. This person's dead.
Yeah, this many people die every year from blah, blah, blah.
Right.
It just ends in like text, This isn't like that. Like it ends in little dances,
Yeah.
Like this is showing you they're just people. They
Right.
just want to have, rights and acknowledgement and stuff. And because of that, it was engaging. You didn't ever feel like they were just kind of talking at you or throwing facts at you or anything. You're just kind of watching people.
Yeah, humanizing the story. And I think that's what a good documentary can do. try to make time to watch it. It's informative. It's helpful. I learned some shit. And if you watch it streaming, that's fine. But definitely watch it. Get the old intel in the brain here. This is vegetables. Eat your vegetables, kids. Get some brain cells growing. And it's nice to see a documentary that all the documentaries I watch are such fucking trash. It's nice to see something that isn't just pure infotainment. It's not like Pez dispensers started out at humble beginning. Frogger was a game cooked up in. No, this is like this is something that'll actually enrich your life. So yeah, thumbs up to everybody. All right. 4 movies done, under the belt. Boom, another week. We're back at it. I need some games. I need some fun and games. Give me some fun and games, Brent.
How about we play some fun summer-themed games? We're going to go with Maltin this time around. And all of these movies, either it happens in the summer in the film, or these are just associated with summer. I think I intentionally avoided movies that have summer in the title.
Didn't want to go too on the nose. That's your first hint, everyone.
Okay. Your first movie is from the year 1980. It is 98 minutes long. You have up to 10 actors to choose from. The description is as follows. Animal House type hijinks at a posh
John Belushi.
At a posh country club, another comedy where irreverence and destruction are a substitute for humor. Saving Grace is one of the actors whose opening scenes are side-splittingly funny, followed by a sequel. Now, Maltin gave this one... Oh, I'm not going to tell you how many stars because that might be a tiebreaker.
Shit. I got title and actor.
One actor?
Yeah.
I'm so scared that this is the wrong movie.
Okay.
Mine definitely... Oh, wait, I guess I could do 2.
I think I could do 2.
I don't know what this is.
Want to do title? 1, 2, 3 title? All right. 1, 2, 3 Caddyshack.
Correct.
First actor.
1, 2, 3 Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, he went last. He went last.
Because the other one's Bill Murray, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys don't have any more?
I'm trying to think, dude. I cannot for the life of me remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Come on, dude. I know you got this.
Oh, wait.
Squirrel.
Chevy Chase.
Yes.
Okay, fuck yeah, all right.
All right, give it to him.
All right,
give
goes
it
to you.
Give it to...
How many stars?
Yeah.
2 stars.
Who are the big names in here?
You didn't like that.
I didn't care for this one either. Who are the big stars?
Well, directed by Harold Ramis. You've got Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield, Ted Knight, Michael O'Keefe, Bill Murray, Cindy Morgan, Sarah Holcomb, Scott Columby, Brian Dole Murray, and the big guy, Chuck E. Rodent of the Gopher.
Gopher, that's it, not Squirrel.
You don't like? Are you Caddyshack head? You
No,
Shack head?
not really.
Me
Yeah.
either.
I tried to when I was like really heavy into Rodney Dangerfield movies.
Yeah.
But, like it never clicked like The Graduation.
I think it's a generational thing. 'Cause,
Must
like,
be,
My
'cause
dad's generation, they love this.
I know. I got
couldn't
pounded
stand
in
it.
the head with how important Caddyshack is, and the
Didn't see it,
quotables
right?
and all that. And it's just yeah, I don't know.
There's a Chuck E. Cheese character in it?
Well, it's a gopher.
Oh,
You don't know the gopher in the movie?
I've never seen it.
It's pretty cute.
Yeah.
Cute gopher.
I would have
Is it real
accepted
gopher?
gopher.
No,
as the-
it's like a
puppet
whack.
gopher, yeah.
Essentially a whack-a-mole.
Oh, okay.
But
He dances at some point too. What's the stupid song?
Oh God! You just reminded me of the merch. They made that gopher like a. Like there was a year where they did like a James
dancing
Brown
one?
doll, and they used the same mold for the gopher, and they just swapped the
was
song
it?
out.
It wasn't the WB Frog song, was it?
Hello,
No.
my baby. Hello, my darling.
I
don't
think I'm
remember.
confusing with Holiday Road, anyways. But go. What's the next movie?
Okay,
Spaceballs.
did that take place in the summer?
Yeah, Spaceballs. John Candy.
The desert scene. Come on, it's hot, sun.
Home in the desert. Did you find anything? We ain't found shit. All right, your next movie is from 1989. It is 120 minutes long. You have up to 15 actors to work with here. Your description is idealized, individualistic look at life in the black community of Bed-Stuy in Brooklyn, where a white-owned pizza parlor flourishes and where circumstance leads to an outbreak of hostilities on a sweltering summer day, entertaining and provocative with a much discussed and troubling finale.
How many you got, Dylan?
I got 2. I can't. Here's the thing. I know the characters, and I know other movies said characters were in,
Well,
and I cannot for the life of me remember actor names.
So you got 2. What about you, Colin? This one's got a deep bench.
Yeah, I know. Well, now I can't even remember his name. Who's the guy that talks like this? My favorite guy, my Brooklyn guy.
Why is he playing the
What
game
voice
like
am I
this?
doing? Michael Rappaport. I can only do it if I do his voice.
He's not.
Okay, Michael Rappaport isn't in it. I'm fucking out.
Wait, why are we bringing up Michael Rappaport?
Yeah, no, I see what he's trying to say, but
Yeah, if he's not in the movie, then I really got no one.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
can you name the one guy?
Spike Lee.
Okay,
There's one.
one.
Justine?
You know you got the title?
I don't know.
Okay.
I know the title, and
And you got 2.
I'm not blanking on her name. I just don't know if I'm saying it right.
It's fine. You want to go to Dylan?
Yeah, you deserve this in spirit.
All right, Dylan, rock
Is it
this.
Do the Right Thing?
It is.
Spike Lee.
Yeah.
I'm not butchering her name. I'm just remembering it wrong. It's Perez.
Rosie Perez.
Rosie Perez.
Rosie
That's it.
Perez. Yeah. Can you, all right. I need you to name somebody else to actually take it.
I know Dylan's more of a fan of the film, so I'm giving it to him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not that I dislike it.
Yeah,
I just,
I
watch it in passing.
let's see. We got Radio Raheem, who plays the one guy that works at J. Jonas Jameson's office. We got the special needs guy that's in the area that plays the guy that drives around Ray Allen and He Got Game.
Yeah.
And also he's in Dope.
How about Moff Gideon? You know Moff Gideon?
That's the isn't that the that's yeah, I forget the guy's name.
Colin, you got this?
Juan DiCarlo? No.
Giancarlo Esposito is
Okay,
in the
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
But
Giancarlo Esposito. In spirit.
to get like a big name that's in this list, think about who Mookie's boss is.
Yeah, it's Sal, but I don't know that guy's name.
Yeah.
Danny Aiello.
But Sal's son is that one guy that plays in Transformers, and I can't remember that guy's name at the moment either.
I'm telling you, Dylan gets this one in spirit.
All right.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson. That's the third
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Right there.
Perfect. I was hoping you get that. Okay, so yeah, you got Aiello, you got Ossie Davis.
I was remembering scene for scene.
Man, this is an important movie. All right, listen. If you're watching this, you listen to this. Just watch this movie. All right, you'll never understand Brooklyn. You'll never understand New York if you don't watch Do the Right Thing. Spike Lee. It's a Spike Lee joint. Okay, he does good movies. Watch this one. It's great. If you kids, you don't understand what movies are. We had movies back then. We had movies. We had Do the Right Thing.
Okay,
with
you fuck.
actors. With actors. All right, actors.
What's that guy's name? Jean Deposito?
I just forgot it. Giancarlo Esposito.
And I'm pretty sure that's Bug. And he's in Breaking Bad.
That's correct. He's a chicken restaurant owner.
Yeah, and he's also
Yeah.
in Far Cry 5.
Is it Moff Gideon?
Yeah, he's Moff Gideon.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Moff
see.
Gideon.
John Turturro's in this movie.
That's the only one I knew,
Yeah.
other than Spike Lee.
Let's
What
see.
did Maltin give it?
Maltin gave it 3 stars.
Racist. Okay.
You know who's in it that I forgot is in it? Martin Lawrence.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
He stepped on your shit. I forget what he says, but he talks all crazy. He has a lisp.
Your next movie is from 1980. It is 95 minutes long, and you have 7 actors to choose from. The description is, the template for too many modern horror films. Teens holed up in a woodsy summer camp are systematically slaughtered by a maniac. Young folks unexpectedly make this gory cardboard thriller a box office smash. One more clue to why SAT scores continue to decline. Rates higher than Bomb due to an admittedly bravura finale and because it's slightly better than Part 2. Unrated DVD adds a few seconds of carnage, followed by a seemingly never-ending series of sequels and a TV series, remade in 2009.
You know what? You have actors?
No.
Me neither. You want a 3, 2, 1 it?
No, you can go ahead. I don't even think I got the right one. I think I do, because if there's a...
How can you not have? I'm gonna take
Bro,
it.
go ahead, take it.
This is Friday the 13th.
Okay. So yeah, it's Friday the 13th.
The confusing part was the sequel part, but I guess that makes sense because...
I'm gonna guess this is a 1 star.
Not the sequel, but the remake.
1.5, which is weird because the description says above that. It might be adjusted.
above a bomb.
You know what I mean? How like he always revises these things. So nobody has an actor or actress?
Jason.
That one.
Kevin Bacon, famously.
3?
In the first one, Friday the 13th.
Oh, I'm so lost. Oh, I keep thinking this is the third one for some reason because you keep saying sequel in my mind. I'm like, so this is the third one.
Sequels exist for this film. He's talking about the third one.
I was.
Yeah, I didn't follow where.
No,
where you
I
guys
got
got
thrown
it.
up.
80, fool.
But I know, but in my head, I'm like, so this is a sequel to another one, and it's better than the second one, so it's the third one. And I was like, okay, that's where I got lost.
Does anybody recall the actress that played Mrs. Voorhees?
Angela Lansbury.
Betsy Palmer.
I like that one more than Caddyshack, but admittedly not enough to know the cast. So
right.
pull my card. Feel free.
This one's going to come down to how many members of the cast you can name for sure. This is a 1984 film. It is a 3-star entry. You've got 9 actors to choose from. The description is the first multi-million-dollar scare comedy about a trio of flaky paranormal investigators who go into business flushing out ghosts and spirits in New York City and find their business booming. Engagingly offbeat, even subdued at times, with the lead's flippant personality nicely contrasting Richard Edlund's eye-popping special effects. Great fun all the way, followed by a sequel and an animated TV series shot in Panavision.
Give me 5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah, give me. I'm not looking it
Yeah,
up.
you take your time.
I'm just writing it down.
You have 9 to work with.
I just don't know which one it is.
Yeah.
I have 5 if it's what I think it is.
Yeah, you can have it. I'm stuck at 3.
Well, I don't know which one it is. I mixed them up.
Well, I don't
if
think.
you can get 5, I think that's.
Yeah, the fun part with 5 is that I don't think it matters.
Great fun all the way, followed by a sequel and an animated TV series.
I know. Like, I mix them up, is all I'm saying.
Oh, the movies themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
She's saying in terms of actors or whatever.
Yeah,
which
and
it
like
was.
which happens in which
But
thing.
you have. We only have 3, and I think we're for some reason stuck.
Yeah, I think you need to pull the trigger.
So if you could name the 4, which I think you will right now.
Yeah, you can win with
I'm
4
not talking
and,
on mic,
and
sorry,
the movie.
but yeah.
All right, well, we'll see. Is Ghostbusters?
It is.
All right, so I'll start from like maybe these people aren't in this one. Is Rick Moranis?
Is he listed?
You better be fucking listed.
Yeah, because that's the name I couldn't think of.
I can think of that.
He's
name.
listed. 1,
So Sigourney Weaver,
2,
Bill Murray,
3.
Dan Aykroyd.
And
4.
fucking Aykroyd is a goddamn name I couldn't remember.
Just forgot. Ernie Hudson.
5.
Can't believe I drew a blank.
One more big one you can get.
I don't think you'll get it. It's
Yeah, I don't know that.
Harold Ramis.
Yeah.
See, I couldn't remember Ramis or Hudson. I got Bill
Nope.
Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, and Slimer.
Bro, Dan Aykroyd was just running, would not fucking allow me to get it. And I Sigourney Weaver, obviously. Only thing my brain would be like, oh, Susan Sarandon.
Yeah, those
No,
are the
no,
two
it's
you
not
have to-
Susan Sarandon. You realize, you know what Susan Sarandon? Yeah, I know what Susan Sarandon is, and you know it's not her in the movie. Yeah. Okay, so who is it, brain? Susan Sarandon.
What else were you thinking of?
I don't know which one is the one with the painting.
It's the same cast in both
It's
of
the
them.
second movie, but that's a.
Everyone
Oh, that's
you
why I
mentioned-
read you the last line followed by a sequel.
Like, I don't know if that's the first one.
Yeah, but
You know
no,
what
Oh,
I
you're
it's-
mean?
confusing the actual films
Yes.
themselves. Oh,
all the
got
movie
it.
people you said are in the sequel. The only one that's in the sequel is the weird little. Do they say who's the name of the little Balky guy in the second one?
The guy that's in
Bronson
the guy that
Pinchot?
plays Renfield in Dead and Loving It.
That's his name.
From Perfect Strangers?
No,
he's
he's the guy that's touching up the painting.
No,
Oh,
no.
Jesus.
Him. I don't know what his name is.
Who played Vigo? Who played Vigo?
I don't know that guy's name.
Vigo the Carpathian. God, what a fucking smart goddamn movie. Second one is painting. First one is them getting started. Slimer, Stay Puft,
What's the
Stay
thing?
Puft, my Marshmallow Man.
What's the girl? What's
Yeah, Zizu
what's her
or
name?
something?
The secretary, the
Oh,
front lady,
Oh.
Janine, because she's another Annie Potts or something.
Oh, yeah. Let me go
I
back.
feel like
to
they
it.
maybe change her up between
Yeah,
the
Annie
two.
Potts. So you just got 6.
Okay.
Here's all that's listed. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, Annie Potts, Ernie Hudson, William Atherton, and Reginald VelJohnson.
And Zool as himself.
oh, that's it. Zoo. I was thinking Zuzu.
Pazuzu.
It's like, that was not his name.
We're going to go 1 year later. to 1985. This is a 2.5-star movie. Oh, I already said it. I already said how many stars. So, yeah, you're going to have to beat each other by telling me the most amount out of 10 possible actors. The description is, a bunch of kids go in search of hidden treasure in this old-fashioned adventure yarn. Big, lively, and exceptionally noisy, aimed squarely at kids with a likable bunch of kids on screen. Also makes appropriate use of Max Steiner's swashbuckling theme from Adventures of Don Juan. Also shot in Panavision, also PG.
Title and nothing else.
Yeah, title, nothing.
Okay.
Title possibly 2.
Oh,
Okay.
Take it.
Goonies.
it is Goonies.
Corey Feldman in this.
Boom.
Fucking A. Jesus Christ.
Hui Kwan.
Yes.
Yeah. See,
Yes.
I couldn't remember what Corey, and I knew I wouldn't remember that guy's name.
Destroying.
What's the
it's Corey
lady's
Haim.
name?
Which one?
The mama lady? She has a crazy voice.
I'll run you through this. It's a Richard Donner film starring Sean Astin. Josh Brolin is in it. Jeff Cohen, Corey Feldman, Carrie Green, Martha Plimpton, Kei Hui Kwan, John Matusiak, Ann Ramsey,
Ann Ramsey is it. Hey, the throw mama from the train lady.
Joe Pantoliano. So yeah, that's a good job pulling 2 out of that list. Definitely tricky.
Is that kid Samwise Gamgee's?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Well, then who was Martha Plimpton in the movie?
I assume it's like the slightly older girl that hangs out with him.
Yeah, there's like an older boy and an older girl.
Okay.
Still like a kid.
The
but, you know.
teenagers.
Yes.
I haven't watched that movie in a long ass.
Is Richard Donner the Superman guy?
Yes.
Maybe I gotta fuck with some Richard Donner movies.
Yeah, can't go wrong. All right, we're going to fast forward to 2008. This one has 8 actors in it. The description is, cheerful adaptation of the internationally successful stage show based on the enduring songs of Swedish pop group ABBA. One of your actresses has been raised by her mom on a Greek island, and now she's going to be married. She sends wedding invitations to 3 men who might be her father. This thin story strings together a parade of songs by an attractive cast, though one of the actresses' pipes outshine her co-stars. With beautiful Greek scenery as the backdrop, the creators of the show also put together this feel-good film, which seemingly has 4 or 5 finales, but they're all fun. Shot in Panavision, PG-13.
I got the title and the first names of all 4 members of ABBA.
I like that. I like that wager.
Yeah, I have the title and I've never seen this.
Yeah. Well, then that's even more impressive that you got the title.
I might have one guy, but I don't think it's the right person.
You say you have a guy?
Actor, yes.
Okay.
All right, well, 3, 2, 1, we all say the title. 3, 2, 1, Mamma Mia! Exclamation point. Oh, you guys got it wrong. I got it right.
Oh,
I'm
very
fucking with you.
nice.
Who's the
I was
guy?
yelling.
Sudden death.
Is it Richard Gere as one of the dads?
No.
Fuck! I got the wrong guy then.
Bjorn, Benny, Annafrid, and Anna.
Did they show up? Or are they listed though?
Are they listed?
They are not listed.
I also don't know
Oh,
all of their last names.
I know one of them is James Bond.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know that guy.
Daniel Craig.
No.
No. Dylan, pull it.
I can't. I thought it was Richard Gere.
Justine, steal it.
2008?
Pierce Brosnan?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Hey.
Yeah, so you got Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Damn it. I knew the mom and I knew that, but I couldn't remember the Meryl Streep. I'm pissed off.
Colin Firth is in it.
Nice.
Stellan Skarsgård, Julie Walters, Dominic Cooper, Amanda Seyfried, and Christine Baranski.
Dylan, would you ever watch this movie with me?
Like, watch it again, but with you this time?
Yeah, like frequently. I think I've seen-
Frequently watch it?
Yeah, like we could make this our movie.
Or frequently
Whoa.
watch Mamma Mia and make that our movie?
Yeah.
Have you already seen it, Colin?
I saw it and I wasn't bowled away, but I think maybe if I watched it like 2 to 3 more times,
You'd like it?
I
Did you watch the second one?
No, and I for full disclosure on the podcast, I am a ABBA maniac. So
Yeah.
I like the band enough to like want to watch it, but I was the aspects of ABBA that I like were not present during the film. It's just the songs, but maybe the songs are good enough to carry it along. Again, if I watch it 2 or 3 times with Dylan.
I mean, I'm down. 2 or 3. You want to watch the second one though? Because I watched both.
I'll watch
I
the
watched
second
them
one.
both in theater, and that might be a little different than watching at home.
Yeah, we can go back and forth. You Stan?
The movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those movies.
Okay, but like honestly.
No, I sincerely like enjoy those films.
It's like he had like a nice communal experience in the theater.
Yeah, it's just me and my mom. That's how I envision it. So now I have to replace my mom with you.
Is it
Big
just
ask.
more ABBA songs in the second one? Because the first one hit like most of ABBA gold.
Yeah, there's more ABBA songs. I remember like I don't know this song specifically. And
Right.
in my head, it's like, is this like a song for the film?
I guess you run out of like hit songs.
And I think people of ABBA show up real quick, but they don't say anything. They just
Okay.
sing a song.
Oh, so they're in it?
I
The
think
sequel. Dylan
in the
says,
sequel,
possibly.
I feel like they're in the first one too, but they're hidden. Like they just show up. Like when the song's playing, you see someone playing the piano, and that's someone from ABBA. Then they turn the piano around.
Whoa.
You ever seen ABBA the movie from the 70s?
No, you always tell me about it though.
Pretty cool. It's very like Beatles-esque.
Yeah.
But also
It's ABBA.
it's all. Oh, I consider it Spice World-esque, but only because I was more of a fan of the Spice World than of the Beatles movies. But when I watch the Beatles movies, I'm like, oh, this is what Spice World is like.
Yeah.
This is why they took it. But it's also what the ABBA movie was like.
Okay. Bands back then, bro, they gotta bring those movies
Yeah,
back.
be
No
like-
more live experiences.
No.
Give me a plot with some bullshit happening.
Silliness.
Yeah.
Hard
I don't want a documentary either. I want a made up story.
all fiction, but you're playing yourself.
Yeah.
We watched Hard Day's Night recently. That shit is legit great.
Yeah.
I love it.
Like
Really
in
actually
Spice
good
World,
movie.
Awesome movie.
Is it Meatloaf driving?
He drives
around?
the bus, yes.
So get
Yo, imagine if there's a scene in the BTS movie
Yeah,
where they
I was
all
gonna say the
switch
BTS
characters like they do in the Spice Girls movie.
Yeah.
Be great.
that'd be sick.
Yeah.
And then the driver for the BTS bus is
Well, it could be Scott Ian because he's dating Meatloaf's daughter.
ooh, that'd be a good pull.
Yeah,
It's
they keep it in the
got Ian
family.
and BTS in a
Hey
bus.
guys, we get to the next show.
I was trying to think of a musician turned actor, but I like it to keep it in the Meatloaf family tree.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
good.
for sure. I guess if you want to switch it up, I would accept a Rollins.
Audiences will make that connection for sure. Yeah.
I would accept a Rollins.
Yeah, Henry Rollins.
Yeah, as
Dude,
a
that
bus
would be
driver
fucking
for the
perfect.
BTS. On
Hey
the
guys,
do it?
get in the van.
Yeah, you could say get in the van.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I would pop so hard for that. That'd be great.
I would watch that film. Would you
Yeah.
watch that BTS movie where Brendan Rollins is their bus driver?
And BTS has not been given any acting skills
Oh,
classes at all.
understand this. This is not a musical. This is a fictional work where the band plays themselves and nothing else is
Well, they're on
actually-
tour. Do all of the members of BTS speak English?
I don't know if all. I know some of them do.
Okay, we're not teaching the ones who don't how to before we filming. By the way,
No.
and I'm not promising you subtitles either.
some of them are no
Hey,
subtitles.
yeah, no dubs, no subtitles.
Yeah, expressions, thumbs up.
Yeah. You should be able to watch this movie with no sound
Exactly.
and it will communicate the same
as
ideas.
That's how you know it's a good movie.
As
Exactly.
a
If you
good,
can
as a
tell
good
with it on
Spielberg
mute.
intended.
It
All
was
right.
good.
Speaking of a good movie, we're going to go back to 1991. This one you have 11 actors to choose from. The description is Maverick FBI agent is sent undercover into Southern California's surfing community to investigate a baffling series of perfect bank robberies. Incredible, mind-numbing plotline redeemed by great surfing and skydiving scenes. Assured fast-moving direction by the director keeps this movie hanging 5, if not 10, though one of the leads is in desperate need of a hairstylist here. Shot in Super 35, R-rated.
I have the title in one.
Okay?
Yeah, same.
Dang,
You can swipe this easily, Colin. Come on.
I should be able to. It's Point Break. It's Keanu.
Oh wow.
But who's number 2? Who's Mr. Blondie? There's Flea, but I don't think he's getting billing.
You get the flea in there?
No, you mean Anthony Kiedis, not Flea.
Oh man, they switched it up.
You're thinking of Tough Guys.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But there was a
Mandela.
flea.
Wait, hold on. No, you're thinking of
No, hold up. Flea isn't in this movie.
Flea's not in this movie. It's Anthony Kiedis at the showers.
Yeah, that's what
We're
I
just
think.
gonna
Okay.
fuck you up.
Yeah.
Christian
Yeah.
Slater,
It's not Christian Slater. It's not Kevin Bacon.
Patrick Swayze.
It's Patrick Swayze.
Is it Patrick Swayze?
Patrick Swayze.
That's one of the actors. Yeah.
Oh, that's a collective answer.
Yeah. You had you I guess you had it first though.
Yeah, you did.
It's pretty bad that I didn't.
What about Keanu Reeves' partner in this movie? Who's that?
Lady McTuffington?
It's a girl?
It's a guy.
Woman? Oh.
Older gentleman at the time and now.
Robert De Niro.
No.
Hannibal Lecter, that guy.
He's a wacky guy, Dylan.
Robert De Niro.
Nope.
Jack Nicholson.
Nope.
David Lynch.
Go wackier.
So,
You know this.
no, I don't. It's been a hell of a long time.
Hold on.
I just thought Flea was in the movie. You know what?
Hold on, I got it. Give me a minute. Old man, wacky.
Older gentleman in the
Al
movie.
Pacino.
No.
Donald Glover.
You want me to give you a hint?
Is he an Easy Rider?
No.
Okay, then it's not the guy.
He played Buddy Holly in a movie.
Oh, Steve. No, but
No.
Gary Busey.
Yes, correct.
Oh, he said "bew" first.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
what
was right
started
there.
in my brain.
Yeah. So directed by Catherine Bigelow. You got Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, Gary Busey, Lori Petty
All
as
right.
the love interest, John McGinley, James LaGrosse, John Philbin, Sidney Walsh, Vincent Klin, Julian Reyes, and Tom Sizemore.
Sure.
Oh yeah, he was the undercover FBI agent that got mad that Johnny Utah blew his cover. I remember him.
Yeah, I think you'd like this movie because it's a movie, Justine.
But it's surfing.
Like loosely, it's just
No, not really. It's more about bank robbing.
yeah.
We'll watch it.
If it's in the Criterion Collection.
I believe it is. As in most
RoboCop
surfing
was for
films.
temporarily.
We watched that. It's great.
RoboCop was
Well,
in
we
the Criterion.
recently watched RoboCop 2.
Oh.
Or was it 3? Was it 2? 2.
I think it was
You're
2,
right,
yeah.
right.
Nuke.
Yeah.
I forgot when you did that. I just laughed, and then it happened in the movie.
Did
And
we
I
watch
was like,
2 and 3?
We watched 2, we started 3.
Okay.
One of the most expensive Criterions is the RoboCop edition because I think they only made 1,000 or something like
Jeez.
that. Yeah.
I mean, perfectly justified films to enter into the library, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, next time I'm in the Criterion closet, I'm going to get that, and I'm going to sell it. The last one we watched Qui-Gon.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a long movie, but it was cool.
Not a long movie. This is your last movie of the week. This is 2008. It is 112 minutes. You have 14 actors to choose from. After his TV star girlfriend leaves him for another man, a self-pitying composer goes to Hawaii to mend his broken heart. Then his ex and her new boyfriend turn up at the same resort. Smart, funny comedy hits all the right notes, pushing the envelope for sexual content, but never losing sight of real emotions.
Title 4.
Whoa. That is a strong, confident
Wait,
assertion right
I
there.
want to guess the title.
Go ahead.
I just want to let you know what is in my mind.
Yes.
Is it Along Came Polly?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, see? That's what I got. Is it 51st Dates?
Justine,
you got a
do
guess?
you have any inclination?
I have no
All right,
idea.
It's
Dylan,
not
let's-
Along Came Polly or 51st Dates.
Do you have another guess? Of
No,
the title.
I just shot my best shot.
Okay.
But you do not know title.
Unironically, I shot my best
I
shot.
hate how I answered it quickly, thinking you would know what that was too. That's why
You know
I
what?
was.
You scared him.
That's what it was. Are you sure you don't know the title?
It's fucking Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have 5?
No.
All right, Dylan, knock it out of the park.
Jason Segel,
Correct.
Russell Brand,
Correct.
Mila Kunis,
Correct.
and then is it Kristen Stewart? What's her name?
Different
Kristen,
last name.
See, that's where I get fucked.
Yeah.
Kristen Veronica Mars. That's all I'm going to call her.
Wait, is Paul Rudd in the movie?
Paul Rudd is in the movie.
Okay, thank you.
Kristen
Bell?
Bell.
Correct. Yeah.
Frozen. Damn it.
SNL legend, Barry Genius, Bill Hader's in this movie. You got Russell Brand, who then took his character and made an entire movie out of it called.
Get him to the Greek.
Correct.
Oh my God.
That's in the same universe?
That is the same.
I didn't know
Weird.
that was the same unit for real.
Yeah.
Because Get Him to the Greek is a remake, isn't it?
It says it in the book.
Is what Maltin says that.
Yeah, Siegel wrote the screenplay and gives himself a great star vehicle with plenty of room for other cast members to shine. Brand reprised his character in Get Him to the Greek. So yeah.
Maltin saw him playing himself in 2 movies and was just like, yeah, must be the same guy.
All right, I got 3 for Get
Russell
Him to the
Brand
Greek. I got
can't
3 for
fucking
All right, hold on. You also had Jonah Hill, Jason Bateman, Steve Landsberg, Getty Watanabe, and Kristen Wiig is in it as well. All right, you said you want me to go to Get Him to the Greek.
I
You
got 4.
Okay,
All right, we got Russell Brand. We got Jonah Hill.
Yes.
We got Lars Ulrich.
not listed.
Oh my God. We got P. Diddy, Sean Combs.
Sean Combs is listed.
All right. If Lars Ulrich isn't listed, fuck, what the hell, man?
Hey, buddy, you got a comedian for me? A stand-up comedian for me?
I don't know at that point. That's where I get lost. What is it?
Aziz Ansari.
Oh, okay. I see that. Damn, Lars Ulrich isn't listed?
Well, they only list Jonah Hill, Russell Brand, Rose Byrne, Elizabeth Moss, Sean Combs, Cole Meany and Aziz Ansari. That's it.
Crazy.
I wonder if I could still do my Aziz Ansari impression. It used to work on Dylan.
Go ahead, do it. Let's see if I can still laugh at it.
I thought I had consent.
Oh my God, that's really good. That is really good. Bad message? Great impression.
I wasn't ready for that line. I knew what it was, but I didn't know your line.
The girl's a liar. I was there, sitting on the couch on a date. Then things went horribly wrong.
I wasn't ready for you to go that round. I thought you were just going to do...
That's the only bit. That's the only way
But I
it's an impression.
I thought for this you would go a regular Aziz route, but you just went the crazy
I mean, that's what people know.
No.
I think you're going to go Parks and Rec or something, but you went straight for the jugular on that.
So to my point, it still works.
Yeah, it works, but I'm not ready. I wasn't prepared for you to do it.
Are you prepared to tell us what we're seeing next week?
Unlimited.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited. Knock knock. Who's there? Insidious, the Red Boy. That's right, another installment in the Insidious series. It looks really good. Then we take a ride, a joyride. I don't know, folks. I don't know what this movie is about, but it sounds good too. Anyway, guys, see you at the theaters. Bye.